Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the series of ITOM. In our video number 1, we discussed some basics. Okay. Now you have the basic with you. You know what is ITOM. Now we are starting with the very first application, that is visibility. And in visibility, we are starting discovery. So first of all, what is visibility? It is just looking into the infrastructure and getting all the details of the infrastructure so that you can take up actions, you can take decisions based on those, because technology is changing, so do your environment assets. Okay, so this is simple definition of visibility. Okay, I am not going to open a big PDF and explain all the theory. Okay, I am going step by step. I am going most practical way so that the interest is not going away. Okay, and with that I have also a document and that I will show you as well. So we start with discovery. What is discovery? You know, discovery is discovering the infrastructure of a particular organization, okay, and update that into CMDB. Very simple. And that infrastructure can be any infrastructure. It can be any device, software, hardware, SNMP, anything, okay, which is being IP enabled. We are discovering that. Along with that, that particular device can be anywhere. Means it can be on premises of the company. It can be in a cloud data center. It can be in, public cloud. It can be in a private cloud. Azure, AWS, private cloud, hybrid cloud, anywhere you have installed the device, and discovery is a way to, discover it and update it in the CMDB. Okay, so we are going to start this exciting thing. Let me share my screen. This is my PDI, and if you go to ServiceNow developer, here in your instance settings, you have plugins. Okay, so you have to install this plugin, activate with demo or without demo, whatever you want. This is discovery plugin. Okay, so I have already installed it, and because of that, I can see these two things, discovery application as well as mid server. So today's session is specifically about mid server, because mid server is the fundamental of discovery. Without mid server, there is no ServiceNow discovery. Okay, so we discuss all about mid server today. So this is the small document which I have prepared. So what is a mid server? A mid server is the management instrument and discovery server, or a lightweight Java application that runs as a Windows service. Okay, so it is running in your system as a Windows service. Unix daemon inside your network. So if you are Windows, it is used as Windows service, or if it is Linux, it is a kind of daemon. Okay, it acts as a secure bridge between your internal infrastructure and your ServiceNow instance. Okay, that is very important. And last line is all communication is outbound from the mid server to the instance over HTTPS. So your internal system can never directly expose to internet. So this is also very important. It tells you about the security of mid server. So what is mid server? It is a simple application which is installed inside the network. Okay, which network? That network in which your devices are installed. Okay, and these devices you want to be in CMDB via discovery. You want these to be discovered. So within that network, this application is installed. Okay, and this application is very much secure. Why? Because it is placed behind the firewall. It means inside the network, and it is connected to the instance. Because why connected to the instance? Because ServiceNow instance is there in the data center or is there in the ServiceNow network, right? So you have to reach out to that network in order to do any communication. So it is communicating from your network behind the scenes over internet to the ServiceNow instance. And why we are saying it is secure? First of all, it is HTTPS. The communication is encrypted, and it is always the mid server who is contacting the instance. So there is a outbound from here to there, and there will never be an inbound from ServiceNow data center or your instance to your network. It means you need not to open any port, or you need not to make any change in the firewall of your data center or of your system. So that is why it is very much secure. It is always the mid server who initiate the connection, initiate the request. okay, and reaching to that particular instance and taking commands from there, executing those commands, and then sending back the result within that secure connection, okay, which is open from this system to the instance. But there will be no case where any third party or any ServiceNow instance is doing inbound into your data center. Okay, so you are not exposing anything to anyone. That is why it is a secure communication. I hope you got it now. Okay, so what is the purpose of uh, mid server? You all know very well. The purpose is provide secure connection and then doing the discovery, doing the service mapping. All these things are happening because of this mid server only. So how mid server is used? You know, in discovery, service mapping, integration, all these things are using mid server. I will provide this document so you can get this document easily. Okay, in the link provided in the description. Now, how to install a mid server? Okay, so today we specifically spend time on this. So in my instance, if you click on mid servers, so these are the two mid servers I have right now, mid server 1 and mid server 2. I will install mid server 3 in front of you with all the processes. Okay. So first of all, you have to go to mid server application. This is mid server application. You have to download the setup, which is provided by ServiceNow. So this is the complete setup here based on your system configuration. Download it. Okay. I have already downloaded it using this zip. Okay. This is the one which I have downloaded because my system configuration is not matching whatever is needed to install this Y installer. Okay, this one, 64-bit of Windows. So that's why I have installed or downloaded this one. Okay, same thing, only the method is different of installation. Okay, so what happened after that? If I go to here, if I go to document, this is my mid server folder. Under this is mid server 2. Okay, this is the one which is already installed. Now, this is the one which I will install for you. Okay, so this is how it happens. This is the file which is downloaded. It is zipped. Now I have to unzip it. So it will take some time. Okay, till the time it is downloaded, let me show you what we have to do in the instance. In instance, we need a user. That user must be having a mid server role. Okay, so now let me go to user table. So this is my mid server. This is my user. Let me open it. Very simple user. Okay. Only thing is at the bottom, you see these are the roles. And what is this role? I just have added one role, that is mid server role. Okay. Rest all roles are inherited, means part of this mid server role. So that's it. You just need user ID and password of this user because you have to configure the mid server, and then that mid server you need to provide user ID and password of this particular user. So mid server in future, whenever do any kind of transaction within the instance, okay, it will use those user ID and password and log in into the instance. Okay. Okay. And then do all kind of processing. So whatever it updates in CMDB, if you remember, there is an updated by mid server. Why? Because mid server is logging and then updating. So that's why updated by mid server is there. So this user is very important. Only this thing is needed. So let's go to our instance. Sorry, let's go to this. Okay, so this is unzipped. Okay, so now what we have to do, look carefully, open this under agent. You have a config file, right click on it. We have to do some configuration here. Edit with Node++. So first of all, you have to provide few parameters. So if you go down under parameters, you see the very first parameter which needs the URL of your instance. So my instance is this one, okay, which is this one. So this is the URL. Just copy this name, come here, and then replace this. So this is done. Okay. As simple as that. This is the URL of your instance. Now scroll down. Now it is asking your instance username here. So here you have to provide details of your user. Okay, first of all, username, that is the user ID of your user. So the value of the username was mid server. So mid dot server, right? So mid server username is done. Now provide the password. Same password of that user. So this is the password. Now scroll down. You have to provide the mid server name here. So we already have mid server 1, mid server 2. So we have to provide mid server 3. 3. That's it. Okay. These are the few things which you have to update. Now just save it. The configuration file changes are saved. Okay. Now what you have to do, you have to invoke this service. So from where you invoke the service? You invoke the service from command prompt. So I will go to command prompt, right click and run as an administrator. So here, first of all, we have to go in that directory. Which directory? This one. Okay, so this is mid server 3. We have to come here and execute this batch file. Which one? This is the start. Okay, this is the one which we have to execute. So now copy this, right click the path, copy the path till this particular, okay, under agent. Now go to the command prompt, write down cd, then paste. It means now we are in that directory. Now simply write start.bat. Start.bat. We are getting some error, and that error is unable to install the ServiceNow mid server service. The service is already running. Yes, when you install more than one mid server in a particular system, this error will come. Why? Because there is a service already running. Why it is running? Because you see, we already have certain mid servers here. Okay, mid server 2 is already running, one is down, but still it is there somewhere as a service. Okay, so now we have to create a new service, and we have to make sure the new service name does not has the same name of these services. So how to check the services? Control Alt Delete. Go to Task Manager. Go to Services. Here you may find some services. Okay. So type mid service or something like this. So you see here, as soon as I typed mid, you see these three mid service are already running, right? And this is mid server 2, and this is the mid server 1, whose name I have not changed. So we have to make sure we do not use these services. And how to do that? Just come to the same config file, not config file, to the same agent here, and go to conf. Under conf, you have to click on wrapper override. Okay, click on it. So let's open it with any of the app. Let's say Notepad. If you look carefully here, these are the Windows services, and the name which is appearing is SNC Mid, the same which we have seen there. Okay, so we have SNC Mid and ServiceNow Mid Server there, Mid Server 2. So now we have to make a change here and provide mid underscore server underscore 3. Okay, and then display name also we have to change. If you remember, we have seen ServiceNow mid server there, right? Now provide the name change here. Mid server 3. Okay, that's it. Now save it. Okay, now again go back to this and execute start.bat. Let's see what will happen now. You see here, mid service 3 is now installed and we are attempting to start it. It means the work which we want to do is now complete here. Okay, the mid server will soon start. Or let's wait. It is waiting to start, waiting to start. It will take some time. And yes, bingo. Mid server 3 is started. Now you have to go to your instance. Reload this. Because we have established the connections, it will take a few seconds to update the record or create a record here. If you remember, we have provided the instance URL, the user ID, and the password. So the mid service, which is installed in this particular system of mine, my laptop, is going to interact, okay, behind the firewall with the mid server, with the instance, okay, which is there in ServiceNow data center, and started communication. Okay, so this is what happening here. Let me reload one more time. You see, we have mid server 3 in front of you and it is up and running. It is not validated because we have to validate separately. Click on it. Scroll to the bottom, click on validate. So it will take a few minutes, okay? Because this is again demo instance, but our mid server is installed. So going forward, we are going to use either mid server 2 or mid server 3 in our discovery, okay? So now this is how we install the mid servers. So now you see it is again up and it is validating. So it will take some time. Don't worry about it. Okay. So this is the complete process of installing a mid server. Now I have certain interesting questions for you. These questions are, kind of frequently asked questions with respect to mid server. So this is all the process of installing the mid server. We have already covered it. Okay. So the question number 1 is, can I run multiple mid servers on the same host? So I already have shown you, yes, you can do so. The only thing which you have to make sure, the service name should different, okay? So that's what we have done already. Because in your instance, it may be possible you have to create one for development, one for production, one for QAT, okay? All these things, you need separate mid servers for separate instance. So that's what is possible. Question number 2, can one mid server connect to multiple ServiceNow instances? So answer is a single mid server installation normally connect to one instance. Obviously, one mid server connect to one instance only. Okay, this is the best practice. You can connect one instance to multiple mid servers. That's what we are doing here. We have one instance and it has various mid servers. So vice versa is okay. What is the difference between mid server account and the discovery credentials? Very important question. So a mid server account, it is a kind of OS level account on the mid host that runs the mid service or processes. It means at present in this example, we have mid server 3 installed on this host, my laptop. Okay. So here a service known as mid service is running and that is going to be used future in the discoveries. Okay. So the credentials, whatever stored in the discovery or the credential table, this mid service or mid server is going to use it to execute the command to log in into different kind of consoles or systems, and then fetch the data and send it back to there. Okay, so this is mid server. It is used to do the discovery, whereas discovery credentials are kind of credentials of separate service accounts which has access to that particular system or that particular device which whom we are going to discover. Like there are 10 Windows server which we want to discover. So for that we need credentials. Okay, so that mid server use those credentials. And for that we need a service account, Windows service account that has access to all these 10 mid servers. Sorry, 10 Windows servers. So now mid server use those credentials of that particular service account of Windows, log in, get the data, execute the command, get the data, and update in CMDB. Okay. Like this, we have n number of credentials for n number of type of devices, Linux, SNMP, okay, firewalls, etc., etc. So I hope this is clear to you now. Next is what happen if the mid server goes down. So all the jobs which are running based on that, all the discovery, obviously it will stop because there is no connection now. The connection is interrupted. Okay. How do I decide where to install the mid servers? Okay. Obviously, you need to install the mid server on the host which has access or kind of reach to all the devices you want to discover. As simple as that. Align mid server placement with environment boundaries. Okay. Uh, Production, sub-production, data center, and different security zones. So basically, it is saying you have to not mix everything into single based on what you are discovering, what type of devices. Type here, whether it is production or sub-production, okay? Whether it's a complete data center or what. Based on that, you need to install mid server accordingly because the data of sub-production is not that much important, but the data of production is very important. So if you do everything under one mid server, it may be possible that there may be some load or something. Okay, there may be some security things because you are using single for everything. So make sure you bifurcate these things and install mid server accordingly. The same is here. Okay. Is mid server only for item discovery? No, we are doing a number of integrations using mid server. Okay. Is mid server supported on Mac? No, mid server are officially supported only for Windows and Linux. Okay. Mac is not supported till now. So let me again check instances. So here our mid server 3 is up and running and it is validated. Okay. This is all about mid server. I hope you understand each and everything of mid server now. If you have any question, let me know in the comment section. I have explained everything, okay, with respect to mid server, how to install it, what is the use, what is the security measures, everything you know now. Okay, so now going forward, we will use one of these mid server and whatever type of discovery is possible in PDI, I will try to do that. Okay, I will show you whether it's on-prem, Windows, Linux, anything. Okay, on cloud or everything, I will show you. So be with me in this series. I am researching my ways to do best and to give you the best. Thank you.